The use of agricultural machinery reduces drudgery in farming. It also enhances processing and all other activities along the agricultural value chain, all in a bid to increase productivity. Because technology is constantly changing, these agricultural machines are also constantly evolving. To keep farmers updated on farm machines that they can use to enhance their productivity, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, in collaboration with Europe-based Consult Limited and other stakeholders, organized an Agro-Equipment and Technology Expo. Tonight, Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria will bring you sights and sounds from the Expo, explaining the place of the machines on display in relation to agricultural mechanization in Nigeria. We shall also bring you the opinions of some of the stakeholders as regards the exhibition and mechanization in Nigeria. I am your guide, Gabriel Ojile. Welcome you to the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. Please stay tuned.
Every part of Nigeria has something to offer.
Transforming agriculture in Nigeria begins with news from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the agricultural sector. In the headlines, Nigerian Army reassures farmers of safety on farms. Also, stakeholders brainstorm to upscale egg powder processing in Nigeria. Keep watching.
Thank you.
Has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that Nigeria's farmers are safe on their farms to produce more food and address food insecurity in the country. This assurance was given by the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.G. Musa, when he paid a courtesy visit to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Speaking during the visit, General Musa stated that if the nation is not food secured, it would affect national security. Therefore, the Nigerian Army, in collaboration with other security agencies, are working hard to ensure the safety of farmers on their farms. General Musa further said that the Nigerian Army is also involved in farming activities across army barracks and institutions, and we want the ministry to support the army with improved seeds, fertilizers, and tractors so that they can contribute their own quota to the nation's drive for food security.
I personally am also looking at the aspect of also opening a defense farm, where we can also employ some retired personnel, some civilians that will come into play, because we know if we're able to do that, it will enhance the food security in the country. Without food, no nation can thrive. Whatever it is you have, if you don't have food, if you can't eat, insecurity will thrive. And so we know that's why we cooperate with you, sir, to ensure that we provide that aspect. While in the Northeast, we know, severally we have met the importance of how farmers should be able to go back to farm all over the country so that they can produce more. And once we have more, we know that food will be affordable for our citizens. And that's why it is really, really very important. I want to use also this opportunity to appeal that we know there are some benefits that come from the ministry to the farms. So that we in the barracks, we have a lot of barrack women, barrack children that are into farming, retired personnel, serving personnel into farming, so that if we know how we can also key into some of these things, we can benefit from them. Issues of tractors, farm implements, improved seedlings, fertilizer, and all sorts. These are areas too, I think, on behalf of our officers and the barrack communities, that will be able to also key into it and see how we can benefit from them.
Responding, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, appreciated General Musa and other officers for their visit and appealed for more partnership between the ministry and the Nigerian Army for easy movement of fertilizers and agricultural produce across the Northeast. The minister also assured them of the support of the ministry.
If we secure the land and then farmers go out there and cultivate their lands, then there will be a lot of economic growth, which will now take the minds of our youth and people away from other vices like the criminality that is going on in certain parts of this country. You have a lot of experience setting up the Nigerian Army farms, and also the issue of not only in crop production, but Nigerian Army farms also deal with livestock and poultry, and we can collaborate. We have so much that we can offer, even to Nigerian Army farms, and also the defense farms that you have just mentioned now. We are willing and to support that program, and especially in times where inputs, agricultural inputs, fertilizers, agrochemicals, seeds, good variety of seeds, are a bit prohibitive in terms of pricing. And I think we can support in those areas. Mechanization is one area that is very key in also agricultural production.
Utilize egg production in Nigeria and to address egg glut in the country. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security recently organized a stakeholders forum to work out the strategies of upscaling egg powder processing in Nigeria. The stakeholders cut across the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Institute of Animal Science, private producers of egg powder, lecturers, among others. Speaking during the forum, the Minister of State, Senator Aliu Sabi Abdullahi, stated that Nigeria is the largest producer of eggs in Africa, producing 20 billion eggs annually, and poultry farmers are recording losses due to low demand at some period of the year and lack of egg processing companies in Nigeria. Senator Aliu therefore called on the stakeholders to share ideas that would develop problem-solving strategies.
I therefore call on all participants and stakeholders at this event to see their participation as a call to national duty. We just sang the national anthem, and I think if you listen to the word carefully, you will see the charge all of us have sung this morning. So bring your experience, expertise to bear in the deliberation today, so that we can actualize a new dispensation of sustainable egg powder production and utilization in Nigeria. In the light of the above, it is my hope that by the end of the deliberations at this forum, you come up with doable recommendations that are practicable, achievable, and that will serve as a blueprint for our country to address this critical challenge of egg loss through egg powder processing.
Also speaking during the stakeholders meeting, the Director, Department of Animal Husbandry Services, Winnie Lai Sholari, who was represented by the Deputy Director and Head Monogastric Division, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Victor Egbon, stated that the country's egg processing capacity is low and the demand for the locally produced egg powder is low. Yet, the country spent over $1 billion on importation of egg powder into the country. He therefore urged the stakeholders to also work out modalities to create more awareness on the marketing of the locally made egg powder in Nigeria.
You are here today at this event physically or virtually because of your expertise and experience in one aspect or the other that hinge on the solution to the issues at stake. So I am confident that at the end of the day, your invaluable contribution and collaborative efforts of your respective organizations, public and private, we will be able to develop strategies to support the establishment of egg powder processing facilities, provide training and resources to those involved in the industry, and create a robust market for this innovative product, create awareness on its utilization and benefits. Let us work together to unlock the full potentials of the egg powder processing and utilization in Nigeria.
As agricultural technologies continue to evolve, it becomes imperative to use exhibitions as an avenue of reaching farmers, processors, and marketers of agricultural produce and products, so as to acquaint them with these technologies that can ease their work and boost productivity. To this end, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, in collaboration with Europe-based Consult Limited and other stakeholders, organized an agro-equipment and technology expo to expose farmers, processors, and marketers to some of the latest technologies in the agricultural sector. The event is the focus of our next segment, record of the Federal Department of Agriculture and Food Security. Keep watching.
On 16th and 17th April 2024, stakeholders from different walks of life converged for the 2024 Agro-Equipment and Technology Expo at the Nigeria Air Force NAF Conference Center in Abuja. Some of these stakeholders include the representatives of the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, lawmakers from the Senate and the House of Representatives, the Nigeria Army, Standard Organization of Nigeria, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, women associations. Others include manufacturing companies, among others. The theme of the event was Sustainable Food Security and Agro-Produce Export through Mechanization. Speaking at the occasion, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, who was represented by a director in the Department of Agribusiness and Market Development, Engineer Gagari Nadungu, described the theme as apt, especially now that the present administration is determined to mechanize Nigeria's agricultural sector.
This gathering marks a significant milestone in our current efforts to harness the power of technology and innovation to address the critical challenges facing agricultural sector. This gathering reminds us of agriculture's vital role in our nation's economy and the well-being of our people, Nigeria. Nigeria, no doubt, is blessed with vast and fertile land with human resources. Therefore, agriculture should be the backbone of our economy.
The minister called for partnership and collaboration among stakeholders locally and internationally to ensure full mechanization of the nation's agricultural sector.
Holland, and so on.
In his welcome address during the event, the managing director of Euro-based Group Africa, Don Ekesiobi, who was one of the major organizers of the event, stated that the company partners with about 20 agro-equipment manufacturing companies to bring their technology to Africa and Nigeria in particular to ensure food security.
As we look towards the future, it is clear that traditional farming practices alone will not suffice to meet the growing demand for food in a rapidly changing world, climate change, population growth, and the resource constraints significantly. Agricultural productivity and resilience. In this phase of these challenges, mechanization emerges as a powerful tool to transform our agricultural systems, enhance productivity, and ensure food security for all.
To increase efficiency.
Also speaking, the chairman, Senate Committee on Agriculture, Colleges and Institutions, Senator Adeniyi Adegbomire, who was represented by the vice chairman, Senator Titus Zam Tatenja, stated that agricultural mechanization is the best way to feed the population of Nigeria because it ensures proper use of water, fertilizers, reduced cost of production, and enhanced productivity.
Mechanization plays a crucial role in promoting sustainable food security by enabling farmers to produce more food with fewer resources. It is imperative, therefore, that governments, international organizations, and the private sector work together to promote the adoption of mechanization and support farmers in harnessing the full potential of modern agricultural technologies. On our part as legislators and patriotic stakeholders in the Nigerian project, our doors are open for any legislative input and intervention you may require to further enhance agricultural practices in Nigeria.
Other stakeholders also lent their voices on the importance of agricultural expo and mechanization.
For the inauguration. Thank you.
One of the high points of Agro Equipment and Technology Expo was the inauguration of a committee on sustainable food security and agro-produce through mechanization.
You are hereby inaugurated this day of 16th of April 2024.
Partnership and collaboration play significant roles in the adoption of technology. The 2024 edition of the Agro Equipment and Technology Expo attracted agro-machine manufacturers from Spain, China, Philippines, India, among other countries to showcase their technologies as well as strengthen partnership with Nigerians. In our next segment, Partnership for Development, we shall focus on the technologies on display and what they are used for, as well as the feedback from participants on the possible impact of some of these technologies as the nation strives towards food mechanization and food security. Do stay tuned.
This area of machines and other technologies are from different foreign partners who have seen Nigeria's potentials in agriculture and the need to bring their technologies here for adoption to boost production and processing. And one of the ways through which technology can be adopted is through exhibitions and networking. The Managing Director of Eurobase Group Africa, Don Ekesiobi, who is the country representative of the foreign companies that exhibit their machines, took our crew on a tour of the equipment and machineries on display, explaining their usefulness for the attainment of agricultural mechanization and food security in Nigeria.
We have in our solution equipment for planting, equipment for land preparation, planting, processing, packaging for consumption and the export. Right here we have a machine for fish. We have machines for all types of animals. Feed machines for all types of animals. For fish, for cow, for goat and sheep, for poultry, for rabbit, for dog, for pig, all machine for animal. We have them. This one is for fish, animal feed. So if you have this one, we covered for smallholder farmers, medium-scale farmers, and large-scale production farmers.
Another machine of interest is the chicken defeather machine, which can be used in removing feathers from poultry birds, thus making it easier than manually plucking the feathers.
This one is a chicken defeathering. Instead of killing chicken one by one and then killing chicken one by one, wasting your time removing the feather, this one can remove 5 chicken within few seconds. It removes all the feather.
Another technology at the exhibition was Farmer's Friend, a technology by CHC Africa, which is used to ensure safe water for crops, increase soil nutrient, as well as prevent soil erosion.
This is called Farmer's Friend. The content of this is beneficial microorganisms. So we in CHC Agritech Africa, we've been able to develop soil microbial inoculants, as well as train the farmers more about it to enhance more awareness. And you'll be surprised that by taking care of the soil, you will produce better. We will have better water because the soil filters for us to get good water. And with soil, taking care of the soil too, we reduce the problems of soil erosion. At the same time, we are also producing more nourished food for our children, for our women, for the whole community, for Nigeria. And when we have excess amounts of food, we can now then talk about how to export to our neighboring countries and other countries outside Africa.
Another technology here is a biostimulant developed by Leader Plant Research. It is said to have the potential of boosting crop production by 30%.
Let's say you are harvesting 1,000 kilograms per hectare. Well, using biostimulants, we can achieve higher yield, let's say in between 20 and 30%. So we could get to a maximum of 3,000 kilograms per hectare, for example. So 30% more.
The exhibition exposed Nigerian farmers to new technologies in farming and processing, either for smallholder farmers or large-scale farmers. Some Nigerians who seized the opportunity to tour the exhibition stands found the technologies very interesting. One of the participants was Honorable Dixon Dominic Takigia, member representing Makodi Guma Federal Constituency. For him, the expo availed him the opportunity to know the technologies needed to empower farmers in his constituency.
I've seen what is here displayed here. It's very encouraging. The reason I'm here is because I represent people, and I feel that there are certain machineries here for smallholders that you can use to empower your people. That's the reason why I'm here, and I'm impressed with what we've got in this exhibition. And I've met several people who have other products that are not displayed here, but we are having a conversation about making them available for me to acquire them and train our people on how to make fish feed, on how to make cow feed, how to make pig feeds, and all that. That would really, really enable smallholders of fish farms, chicken feeds, chickens and pigs to be able to make money for themselves and take care of their families, pay their hospital bills, send their children to school. These technologies are valuable. It's not so much very expensive. There are other people that are even doing it locally in our villages, that we can take advantages of this technology and advance our production.
Other participants made their choices in animal feed processing equipment and the solar technologies that could enhance agricultural production and preservation.
The animal feed equipment are the ones that we think we can incorporate in our own operations, and so they are a good area of investment in which we think that we can incorporate in our own operations here in the country. And so from there on, we can link up with Lima, who is the major distributor or the company that is responsible for the equipment and machineries. And so we will do that in the shortest possible time.
One thing that affects most farmers in agricultural value chain is ability to preserve agro produce. Most agricultural produce at most times gets spoiled. And you could see that what they are doing here, this exhibition is purely for agricultural products. Whatever machines you have, if you harvest your product, the first thing you want to see is how do you preserve it before you start processing. So while you produce, you need to preserve, then before you now do what? Process. So it's fine and good that we have beautiful machines here that can process. But what excites me so much here is the ability to preserve. And that technology, I would say, is very heartwarming, especially for women, farmers who have gone through the stress, go through insecurity, difficult terrain, and by the time you produce, only to see your product wasted. But you could see such a storage system with solar that is solar powered.
Thanks to science, technologies are bound to make your farming, preservation and processing easier, and they are in both small and big sizes. Individual farmers or cooperatives can look forward to reducing the stress and labor of manual farming and increase productivity. And for politicians in search of empowerment projects, acquiring those machines can increase productivity and create jobs across the agri-value chain. This is the much we can take on this episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. Keep a date with us, same time, same station next week for another interesting episode. Remember to visit our social media platforms for a repeat broadcast of any of our productions. I'm Gabriel Ojile. Do have a pleasant night rest.